crazy, bro. Say, that's crazy, bro.
Guys, Zabo is like the godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now.
What's your name? What's your name? Zayla? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zayla? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? That's different.
Hello, hello, guys. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in today. Nothing but the truth. Big Jeff is experiencing an emergency, guys. So keep him in prayer right this minute. He may make it. He's definitely trying to get here on time, but he has a major emergency, and I'll let him speak on that once he comes. So, his topic that he wanted to discuss today was about co parenting. And I'm sure once he comes, we'll be doubling back and adding more to our conversation. But he wanted me to go ahead and start because we didn't want to keep you guys waiting. So, we wanted to also talk about my experience, what happened the day before yesterday. I went down to Macon, Bibb County, and I advocated with the Human and Civil Rights Coalition of Georgia, as I always do, because they are leading the way in the fight for injustice concerning incarcerated individuals and inmates in the state of Georgia. So you guys can check out their website as well and their Facebook, because when I tell you, if you want to see what's going on, the inmates contact us. We normally find out about the deaths in the prisons and in the jails prior to it even being on the news, because oftentimes the prisons and jails try to conceal this information, so the inmates already have our information on speed dial. They'll call us. They'll let us know what's going on. They'll send us pictures. And actually, here in the state of Georgia, our governor right now, his name is Brian Kemp. Well, actually, our attorney general, Chris Carr, he's in the process of trying to ban cell phones in jails and prisons right now in the state of Georgia. So I know some people, there are mixed feelings on that. Some people think it's a good idea because they feel like some of the prisoners post glorifying the jails, making it as if it's something fun, or if it's something that the youth should want to be a part of, but that has not been my experience. With my experience, I've experienced the inmates doing exactly the opposite of that. They're sending us pictures of the mold, the sewer water, the rats and rodents infestations that are in the jail. So I don't receive any of the glorifications of being incarcerated, and I'm glad I don't, because I wouldn't promote that, and I don't think that that's a place that someone should want to be at. So I don't think it's a good idea to try to jam the cell phone towers, because now in prison they're issuing tablets. So why not have communication on those tablets to make it easier to communicate with family and friends? Now, I can understand making a limit and putting some type of restrictions on what numbers to be dialed, like, same way you do with the collect calls. You have to register, you have to put your phone number in there, you have to be assigned, or you have to get some type of approval. So I think that should still be some type of procedure, but to block the towers, I think that would be a little bit inhumane, considering the conditions that are already inhumane and needs to be addressed. So down in Bibb County, we went there, and you guys can go. What's the news station? Let me see. The Macon news station that post. Hold on, I'll tell you. The major news stations in Macon, all the news stations were there covering. We started at the jail, and the sheriff was looking out the window as we were out there protesting, and then he finally, with the pressure of the public, some of the people went and met him face to face while he was inside the glass doors. So I guess he said, you know what, I better come on out and have a conversation with these people. So he actually did. He came out, which, that is commendable because he didn't have to do that. He actually could have hid like the mayor did, Mayor Lester. We ended up walking to the city hall to take our further protest there. And that's because the mayor had been on the Facebook and social media, and he was like going back and forth with the citizens that were reporting how their loved ones are being mishandled in the jail. And he was saying how much money he put in the jail and allegedly. So we all know that, you know, the jails are understaffed and they're not humane. Macon does not have running clean water. As you can hear on my page as well, at Absolute Justice Now on Instagram, you can hear some of the testimonies of an inmate that was just recently incarcerated and released there. She was there for over 14 months on a misdemeanor charge, which ended up getting dropped. And she's giving her testimony about one of her friends by the name of Kat is still there incarcerated for over 2 years for a misdemeanor, and how that there's no clean drinking water inside of the jail, and that her friend had to exchange sexual favors in order to get running water in the jail. So it's very interesting to hear, and it's very sad. And then you have a parent out there, and the news station is called WGXA News, the local news, WGXA News. And there were some other channels out there, but that's just who sticks out to me at this time that covered the story. And on their YouTube, it has a full broadcast of the protest starting at the jail, which concluded at City Hall. So you can go there and watch the whole protest. And one of the mothers who gave a heart-wrenching plea to the sheriff to do something to help the inmates, and her son was actually murdered inside of the jail in Bibb County Jail. Her name is Miss Paula Platt, and again, Miss Platt, we do give our condolences to you during the loss of your loved one, and we hope that you receive some form of justice. We know that, there's no price tag to losing a child, so you won't ever get full justice because he can't come back. But we hope that Bibb County do something to compensate these families for the torment that their loved ones have had to endure. Bibb County is second worst to Fulton County, which we know LaShawn Thompson died in Fulton County Jail because he was eaten alive by bed bugs. There's another testimony that you'll hear too if you go and listen to the whole protest. And I don't know this lady's name, but she gave a very heart-wrenching testimony as well about how her son that's currently incarcerated in Bibb County called her pleading with her because his clothes, underwear, mats, everything was infested with bed bugs. And she gives her testimony on how she pleaded with them to change his clothes and to change his mat, and just how horrible the conditions are there. And then you also see pictures on my website where there is a bag of rats. The rats are so big they look like baby kittens. And the rats is a collection of rats that the inmates have made some type of trap where they collect them, and there's tons of them in the bag. And they're still alive because they don't have anything to kill them with. So they collect them, and then when the guards finally come around, which could be 2 or 3 days later, they collect them, and you'll see that picture on there as well as another picture of the food that the inmates have to eat when they're being disciplined. talking about something else. But yes, it's horrible and it's no laughing matter. And so when we got to City Hall to speak with the mayor in response to his combative allegations that he's provided so much money to this jail, he sent someone out there. He sent some reverend such and such. And it was this tall black guy that he sent out there, and he was smiling and smirking. And he found it to be very humorous of the people that were there that were crying out, explaining the suffering of their loved one. And he just found it to be very comical. And I thought that was just horrible. Come to find out, he's some type of pastor of a church there in Macon. Hold on. I'm going to give you his name just a second. But it was horrible, guys. Okay, just a second. Are you guys having sound problems? They said the sound was going in and out. How about now? Is that better? Okay, guys. I think we got the sound right. Can you guys hear us? Let me know if you can. So yeah, we went there and I don't know this guy name's Reverend something. But he didn't even want to tell us his title. So we went there to speak with the mayor, and this guy come out to address the concerns, saying that the mayor wasn't available. And then someone said that they looked like they saw him in the window looking down as we were there. But the mayor hid. He didn't come out and speak to the public at all. He sent this guy that was, again, he was horrible. I mean horrible. People were crying, explaining their stories of what was going on with their loved ones, and he was laughing. And I think what he was trying to do is to turn our protests, our peaceful protests. He wanted to make our protests get out of order so that he can say that it wasn't a peaceful protest. Because if you would have been there and seen how he was laughing, and there was nothing funny. But I tell you who did stand out. There's a commissioner by the name of Stanley Stewart. He was there from the time we got to the jail. He walked with us to City Hall. He was very empathetic, extremely empathetic, and he wanted to come to some solutions to see what he could do to help with the situation as well. And he was saying that we were doing right by coming there and allocating. And then we had nurses there as well. So we had nurses from the Republican Party of Bibb County who stood in unison with us. As we stated, it's not a Republican or a Democratic issue. It's an issue of humanity and what's right, in the eyes of God. You don't let people suffer in filth because they're serving time. So we had the people from the Bibb County GOP party there, and they were so helpful. And actually, a few of them were nurses in the ER, and they shared their experience of how horrific the inmates come into the ER from the jail. And it was just sad, and it was heart wrenching. It was very sad. So what we'll continue to do, um, with the coalition is continue to advocate. We agreed to come down there at least once a month, and we're going to start doing that to all the jails, the prisons that are corrupt, because there needs to be a change made. Because we do care. We do know that inmates' life matter, incarcerated individuals' life matter, and they are people and they're humans, and they do deserve to serve their times in the best of human conditions. Running water, a toilet that works, decent food that's not molded. So, again, lift these inmates and their families in prayer, because it could easily be you one day. And support people. The Human Rights Coalition Cash App is dollar sign Human Rights GAL 8, or is that a one? Hold on a second. Actually, it's GA 18. So it's dollar sign Human Rights GA 18. And if you want to contribute to the mission of Just Cause and to fight against injustice in the prisons and the jails in the state of Georgia, that is the organization to go to. And in further news, we'll talk about co-parenting and the difficulties of co-parenting. That's what Big Jeff want to talk about. I don't have a lot of problems with co-parenting. Of course, I wish that my my other parent would spend more time with our child. However, that's pretty much my only issue. But I'll let him speak for himself. He'll be calling in shortly to discuss his opinion on co-parenting. And let's see if we can get him on here now. And you guys, again, feel free to text me, inbox, put it in the chat, questions you may have, your opinion, and we'll get those answered for you. Do you have problems with co-parenting? I don't really have a lot of problems with co-parenting, so I can't speak a lot to that issue. I can't wait till Big Jeff comes. Let's see if he could call. Let's see. So I gave him the number so he could call in for the co-parenting portion of the episode. He said what? He's on there? Okay. I'm interested to see what he's going to say. Hold on a second. Can you guys hear DeAndre?
Yeah,
How are you?
right.
So the topic today is co-parenting and the challenges of co-parenting. What do you have to say about that? What challenges do you have with co-parent? Because this here at Nothing But The Truth, we are very transparent, and that includes our own selves and our own lives. We're very transparent. So here on the line is my child's father, and he's discussing his challenges with co-parenting.
My biggest challenge is balancing work life with time because our daughter loves to spend time with me. So it's my biggest challenge is trying to balance work life and balancing spending time with her.
Yeah.
But she really enjoys spending time, so that's one of my biggest challenges and obstacles. And she always asks me, "Well, Daddy, when you getting off over? Can you go work here? Can you go work at McDonald's? Can you go work at Walmart?" Because she wants to spend more time. So the biggest challenge for me is time, spending time with her.
Yeah. I think that's something we both can agree on. The time. I think that's pretty much our biggest issue is the time.
She always feel okay. Well, when you leave this time, when you coming back, or you said you don't come back this time, but you didn't. So it's always balancing time and still trying to balance and get everything else taken care of, and getting other things she might want or need, but also remember that I have to take time off because she needs that parenting time and that one-on-one time with me.
Mhm. Right.
So, that's the biggest thing as co-parents, and then also give them knowing that okay, well, mom need a break too.
Mhm.
So I need to go home so mom can get a break so she ain't all the time have her 24/7. And sometimes our daughter might want a break from mom.
Exactly. I can totally agree. Everything you're saying is definitely the truth. Nothing but the truth. Cause I'm sure kids get tired of us as well. They probably kids probably get tired of us as we get tired of them sometimes as well. They need a break away from us. Um, and they need to, it should be a two parent household. I totally agree with two parent households and the structure of having two parents household. And if you can't have that, then to still make sure that the other parent still is, allowed time with the child.
Okay.
So, like you said, I think that's our biggest frustration as well is work-life balance, and I think that's a lot of people's frustration is being able to balance work, life, and home, having kids, and then you have sports, and then summertime. Some kids may go to summer camp.
She wants to go to water parks.
Right, right. So yeah, she likes to go to water parks and just that's our issue. I don't know what Big Jeff's parenting issues are. I can't wait to hear what he says when he gets here to talk about that because we don't really have a lot of parenting issues. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah. So well, if there's nothing else, Mr. Benz, thank you for calling in today.
No problem.
Have
No problem.
have a good one.
You too.
Anybody else who want to call in? Our line to call in is 770-715-1653. 770-715-1653. And there you can discuss. I did get a text message that says, what if the other parent is combative or if they don't allow you to see your child? Then that's why they got the legal process. You can take the other absent or the other parent to court. You can do a legitimation plan. You can do, co-parenting plans and parenting plans. They have those in the courtroom. I'm not an attorney, and we're not attorneys here, and we're not giving any legal advice. We're giving our opinions. However, you can seek the legal, an attorney. And then there are programs like in Georgia, there's a program called the Fatherhood Program. And with the fatherhood program, it actually is a lifesaver for some of these fathers. It gives them a job skill to, become a better person. If you're needing a job, it gives you skills to retain a job. It also gives you skills on helping to raise your child. It gives you communication skills with the other parent so that, you can come to one agreement and effectively co-parent, you know. So, like he said, our biggest challenge is the time aspect of everything. Of course, if you're the parent that the child lives with, you will automatically have to spend more time. Like I take her to all her appointments, most of her all of her practices, but when she's with her father, I do enjoy my me time as well. So it's like he says, a work life balance. But it can be done. If two parents are willing to make it work, it can be done. But again, there are some parents that are combative, have drama. We really don't have. Now, I'm not going to say we had never had no drama now. We had a little bit of drama, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But those issues were worked out pretty quickly, and we were able to get back on the co-parenting track, and it's been pretty good. I don't have any complaints. I'm just trying to catch up with my messages, what people are saying. Right. So one of my messages says that her son was given molded food in jail and he got very sick, and that's what's happening. And unfortunately, it's not just a Georgia issue, it's a worldwide issue right now. Hopefully with the Trump administration, they're able to implement some changes that could be effective, because he does have Alice Johnson over the pardons and parole right now, and she's a person that served 30 years in prison. And I think that was a great placement that President Trump did in putting her there, because no one better to help make those decisions than someone that has been there and knows what actually goes on and knows what's behind the smoke screen that and the facades that the jails put up and the prisons put up to act like there's nothing going on, to act like, oh, well, our jail is, because even with in Macon yesterday, the sheriff admitted that it was one of the worst in the state of Georgia, his jail. He did admit that it was inhumane, and you can listen to it on the video, him saying these things. But then he turned around and said, "But we got medical, and we feed them." But he totally contradicted himself. How can you say that it's inhumane, and you know it, and then you turn around and make an excuse? So I'm borderline with the sheriff's participation. I do, respect him for coming out, like I said, and meeting with us, because he didn't have to do that. He could have hid like the mayor did. But he did come out and he acted like he was somewhat empathetic. He acted like he was welcoming us being there and welcoming solutions to try to work with the city to build a new jail and also to build a mental rehab, because there are a lot of, and we know that is worldwide, especially in Georgia. Mental health people go to jail, prison, and they are not given anything, any type of counseling, any type of, often, I'm going to say oftentimes, they're not given any type of counseling. From my experience, I really don't know anyone that has effectively had a mental health challenge and went in and received the proper mental health care. I can't name one person. So if you're that person, or if you have a loved one that actually was incarcerated and actually had a decent experience serving their time, feel free to call. We can hear from both sides of the table. Again, the number is 770-715-1653. And we like to discuss that, because I can't recall not one person who has had a good experience behind bars. I'm not saying it should be college, but it definitely should be humane. It definitely should be humane. Otherwise, where are our tax dollars going? Don't collect taxes if you're not going to use them for the right purposes. Right. Hi, Divine Diva Peaches. I don't, does it say, let's see. I was best. Hello, hello. Thank you all for being here. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say today. TGIF. Big Jeff, I know you're listening. We are lifting you in prayer. Can't wait to hear what you got to say about co-parenting, because he always have a twist to it, y'all. And he has a lot of kids. He has a lot of co-parenting. I only have two. Right. Right. So yeah. So I was just answering some response to my text messages, and if there's anything that you guys, any other questions that you guys would like to ask, feel free to do so. I'm not going to be on here long today. Just wanted to quickly cover those little topics and give you guys a follow up of what happened in Macon, and to let you guys know to keep paying attention to your loved ones that are incarcerated. We actually are in the process of starting a telephone line where they can call in. Because sometimes we do have inmates that don't get any family. They don't get letters. They don't get phone calls. They don't have any support from families. I'm also a part of a group of advocates and activists with Positive Outreach Development Society, Inc., and they are to another inmate incarceration advocacy group, and they're amazing. They are a 501c3. I think both of them are. The Human and Civil Rights Coalition also, I believe they are 501c as well. But there is another event, an advocate event. A lot of people sometimes text me. It's like, oh, when is the next event? When is the next event? There is another event coming up on I want to say June the 5th. Hold on a second. It is, actually, we do have something on June the 5th, but I have to see exactly what that is. I think that is a visit um, with some of the parole board people. Then on July 19th, we have a program called Bridging the Divide, Both Sides of the Gun. It is Saturday, July 19th at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be held at Lakewood Church of Hope at 1766 Lakewood Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. The community event is designed to promote positivity, awareness, and community healing as we work with effective solutions to end senseless acts of gun violence in our community and to deter the behavior in not only the youth, but the entire community. This will be a day full of fun, food, and education, and positive community engagement. It is hosted by the Black Man Initiative, Organized POD Society, Inc., the Life Unit, Inc., I Wait Entrepreneur Center, and a whole bunch of others, guys. You get the point. It's a huge community event. Stop the gun violence, July 19th in Atlanta, Georgia. So, again, if you can't come to any of the events, feel free to donate, because these people, I don't work with people who don't mean who are not passionate about what we're fighting for. There's so many different causes that we could be fighting for. So I definitely don't align myself with people who are not doing the right things and who are not passionate about what we do. So we are very passionate about restoring community, bringing justice to the prisons and the jails and humane situations for both. And you can also, I'm going to post this flyer on my page. I haven't posted it yet, but I am about to post it. And so you guys could also, if you forget, or as it get closer to July 19th, you can get the more details at Absolute Justice Now on Instagram. And you can feel free to inbox me if you have any questions there as well. So I am going to go ahead and end the show today. It was short and sweet. I wanted to get the information out. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can also email us at absolutejusticenow@gmail.com. absolutejusticenow@gmail.com. You can also email me or inbox me at absolutejusticenow on Instagram. And we will see you guys next Friday on time at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We out. Nothing but the truth. How'd it go, nephew? How'd it go? Okay. Just gotta start being on time. That's why we losing the viewers. Yeah, better.
What you trying to do, my nigga? You trying to